You know, it's almost like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. Okay guys, so in this video I want to take a close look at this. This is the Pandora Box 7S. Yeah, they can call it whatever they want to, because Pandora's Box is more like a name, that's it. Yeah, it comes in this, well, decent casing. It feels kind of flimsy, but yeah, what you can expect. But inside we're going to find basically an Orange Pi. Yeah, so that's the new thing that they're doing. Grab a Raspberry Pi, an Orange Pi or an Android box and just sell it like a game console. But what are we going to get?
Inside the package itself, we're going to get two knockoff controllers, PlayStation 2 of course. I'm very curious how good the quality is, but they are not comparable with the original controllers from the Sony package.
So over here we're going to get an USB 2.0, yeah seriously, in card reader 2.0. Okay, we're having here the HDMI cable, just a basic HDMI cable from the brand Handhelds Doomy Box, never heard of it. We're going to get a micro USB to USB converter, and we're having here the USB to a jack, a barrel jack, and I'm guessing the reason why, if you want to power it on, because this thing uses a barrel jack for powering on, and if the original power supply gets broken you can always use a normal, let's say a phone charger for giving some juice, because the system itself is 5V. And basically with every single console we're going to get the fake PlayStation 2 controllers. Some are better than the other one, but in general they are not the quality like an original PlayStation controller, not by far. So take that into consideration. Most of the times the feel is weird, have more like this very weird touching joysticks. Nevertheless, it's just a horrible fake controller, and yeah, that's what you're going to get with these weird systems. And of course, here we're having the power supply that we can use for this device, and also include an on and off switch. And here you can see 5V, 4 amp. The console itself is just an Orange Pi. Yeah, and this is what they are doing for a very long time now. But this time they're going to give you this nice, let's say transparent, red transparent color acrylic casing. It has an Orange Pi inside, and an Orange Pi is not a Raspberry Pi by far. And this means we can play some old school games, but not all of them. Okay, so let's do a quick teardown, and I was going to talk about the specs, what kind of specs that we're going to get, and what can we play with this, because it's not a powerful Raspberry Pi, so don't expect it's going to run PSP or Dreamcast. I do like it that they have an active fan, because some of these devices don't even have those. Over the most interesting specs in my opinion. The CPU is an H3 quad-core Cortex A7 that is running on 1.6 GHz. The CPU is a Mali 400 MP2 GPU that runs on 600 MHz. It has 1 GB or memory, and this is DDR3 that is shared with the GPU. On board we also have an 8 GB eMMC flash. Then of course we have connectivity like Ethernet, and so far I know it also has a possibility for a Wi-Fi antenna, but it's of course not with this version. Casing itself looks quite nice, but it is super easy to basically do a disassembly. It's just removing 4 screws and all the side parts come loose already. So the casing, as you can see, we're having here a cooling element, and yeah, it's very tiny, and it will be enough for cooling the chip, but I'm not very happy with it in general. It's time to boot up the Orange Pi, and I'm going to tell you already, with the retro Orange Pi, it's a great piece of software. But with the combination of the hardware, we're going to see some limitations compared with the Pi 4. It's basically the same stuff what you're going to get when you're building this device yourself, like with the Raspberry Pi number 4 nowadays. So it has support like 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, Nintendo 64, MAME, Neo Geo, the Pocket Systems, PC Engine and PlayStation Portable PlayStation. But still with these Orange Pi devices, what I did know that it has less power than the Raspberry Pi 4. So the question remains, what can we play with it? So that's what we're going to try out. And there was another thing that's quite interesting: when you're pressing start, you can go back to the desktop mode. But you can build this system yourself, of course. But okay, let's take a close look at how powerful it is and how good will the games run on this Gamebox 7S 128G. with N64 you can just hear and see the noticeable slowdown, so this is just basically in my opinion unplayable. So N64 was not running that well, and with PlayStation 1 you can see when Bloody Roar 2 it struggles getting the 60 stable FPS all the freaking time. You can see, but also especially can hear it, that we're going to get some really big frame drops. Alright, so a quick look at some MAME, but MAME will not run that bad. Two-dimensional stuff like 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, it's not a problem whatsoever.
2, 1, go! Looks like you got a good start. Can you keep your lead? 3 laps to go. Ah, yeah!
But PSP is the same story. This game seems to be running good enough. I did see a lot of glitching, especially when you're going to do turbo or the nitro mode. You can see a lot of glitching out on the display. Nevertheless, it's not perfect, but this game is playable. So guys, this is what you're going to get and what we're going to get in the future when it comes to these China game consoles. Now with the upcoming of all those, let's say, new versions. So this is one of the many Orange Pi systems I have checked out here on the channel. But when you're looking at what you're going to get, most of the time you're going to get more like the PlayStation 2 knockoffs. They're always going to give you these controllers in combination with something like an Orange Pi in a different case. Some of the systems you have seen on the channel are unique and completely made for a special manufacturer or a store, and they have given it a special name. But in the end, when you're looking at it, it's just an Orange Pi and it's quite underpowered now. But in the end, you're just going to get an Orange Pi and you can maybe make this thing yourself. Grab an Orange Pi board and casing, maybe have a controller somewhere laying around and you have the same result. The Orange Pi is not super bad for the two-dimensional, just the basic stuff, it's just great. But with the high-end stuff like PlayStation 1, Sega Dreamcast, GameCube, forget about it. It's not running at all or not perfect. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the bell, become the big family, and I will see you in the next video. In the next package from China.